I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 million every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 billion every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire, I wanna be a billionaire.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. I got a special guest on my show, so take some notes. This woman is a National Physique Committee champion, Golden Gloves boxer, motivational speaker, health, nutrition, and fitness expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Bodenburg. How you doing, love?
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to see you here.
Pleasure's all mine. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. I'm very grateful to be on this podcast.
Thank you for coming through, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I know you met me that one time in the gym when you were working with Ryan, but you know, you're definitely contributing to my dream today without even knowing me, and I truly appreciate you for that because you didn't have to do this. Like, I mean, I'm sure you got bigger fish to fry.
No, absolutely, and you know, same here. It's all about supporting one another and helping each other accomplish their goals, and that's truly what it's about, you know.
Absolutely. So again, the synopsis of this show is getting insider information for those looking to be in your position. So you, as all the titles I just listed, you know, basically giving game to the future generation of those entrepreneurs to come, you know. But before we even get into that, you know, I want to talk about the beginning, where you from and what got you to even want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even with the intense training that it takes. I mean, you just told me you basically starved yourself for like 72 hours. Like, I don't see how the hell you did it. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little intense, but it's not that difficult. And, you know, when you have a goal in mind, you just have to do whatever it takes to accomplish that goal. You don't let anything get in the way.
Right. I love it. I could see the fire in your eyes just by you even saying that. That's so cool. All right, well, let's start from the beginning. Tell me where you're from.
I'm originally from Buffalo, New York.
Okay. NYC in the building. I'm from the Bronx, South Bronx.
All right.
Okay. So did you do a lot of training out there? Like, what was your first dream when you were growing up? Was it getting into fitness, or did you have other dreams and aspirations at that time?
Yeah, I mean, I was always into fitness. I was always on varsity level sports in high school, and then I ended up joining the Marine Corps, and I was very, very good with the physical fitness portion of the Marine Corps. So I've always just been an athlete and truly enjoyed helping other people accomplish their goals. I can remember from a very young age, people were always approaching me, asking me, how do you do X, Y, and Z when it comes to fitness? You know, how do you run so fast? Or how is your, you know, how do you have 100 crunches in the Marine Corps? You have to take a test. So I can remember from a very early age just consistently helping other people accomplish their fitness goals, and I love it. I love it.
That's awesome, man. So tell me about this National Physique Committee champion. Like, how did you even get that title? Like, how did you even want to do that? Tell me about that stuff.
Yeah, so I originally started bodybuilding when I was going through a really deep, dark time in my life. I was really struggling with depression.
Would you care to highlight? I mean,
sure.
Elaborate on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had come back from Afghanistan, and I had a couple of surgeries that prevented me from running. So I couldn't run anymore, and I was trying to find something to keep me in shape. So I started lifting, and I ended up falling into the sport of boxing, which is why I'm still a boxer today. But I can remember it was like a beautiful day outside, and I was in my basement of my house just wallowing in my sorrow and my pain of depression, and I caught a reflection of myself in the mirror, and I can just remember like looking at myself in the mirror and just saying, you're gonna do a competition. I literally said it out loud, and I just pointed to myself. And at that time I had no idea that was a whole other level of fitness that I wasn't used to or didn't know much about, but I just kept going, and I kept saying I'm gonna do it. And even if I could only, you know, peel myself off the couch to go to the gym for 10 minutes, I would go for 10 minutes and then I'd go back home. And then the next day, maybe it was 12 minutes, you know, and it just progresses from there. So I did my first bodybuilding show, and I actually, like, by all means of the word, I failed. I was disqualified. I wasn't even allowed to be judged because I posed wrong.
Oh, okay.
So
you didn't do the infamous Instagram post with the girls like do all that and got the butt poking. You didn't do that, right? So
no,
what did you do?
like there's specific ways that you have to pose in
Copy.
each category, and I did it totally wrong, so they disqualified me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
So
Well, it was the first time, right?
it was my first time,
So live and you
so
learn.
yeah, I stuck with it though. I learned a lot from it, and then I went back the next year and I won. And so there's a lot to learn from that. You know, there's a lot that we can unpack from that, not only for, you know, depression and really pulling yourself out of something, but many people, I think, are afraid of failure. But
Yes.
to me, there is no fear of failure. You know, when you fail at something, the only true failure is quitting. So I tried to use that, and I did. I learned from it, and I went to the next step and the next level, and learned from my failures, and I just didn't quit.
Right, and I totally agree with you. You know, actually failing is when you quit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what it is that makes people fearful of taking that leap of faith and chasing their goals. I mean, I think maybe they just need to commit to how can I say this? Like that there's no real end to your goals, if that makes sense. Meaning there's no finish line. Yeah, you may have some goals, but there's no real finish line. So you always constantly gotta keep evolving and keep working and keep growing. And some people are just not ready to take that distance, can't go the distance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that there really shouldn't be an end game for you. There should be small, achievable goals along the way and small steps that you should take in order to achieve those goals. But you should constantly be growing and learning and bettering yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. There really isn't an end game, because if we stop learning and we stop growing, you know, we're dead. So I agree with you 100%. You know, trying to step outside of that fear and not be afraid to fail. I think Will Smith said it the best, and I'm probably not going to quote him properly, but you know, fail fast, fail forward, and fail often. And there's a lot of truth in that. If you really unpack that, there's a lot of truth and a lot to learn from that.
I agree. So tell me, how do people, you know, get over this, how can I say, not depression, but more so anxiety when it comes to working out and getting trained? Like, for example, my mother, she's 60, I think she's 62. I think she's 62. Right? Yeah, no, 63. And she feels a little insecure about her body, and, you know, so that's why she doesn't typically go out much. She spends a lot of time at home. She doesn't really go to the gym, doesn't really want to date, stuff like that. And when I tell her, yo, go to the gym, I'll pay for the membership, her anxiety is more so like, yeah, but the people there, you know, they all in shape, and they're probably looking at me like laughing at me because I'm trying to get to where they are, stuff like that. So she feels insecure about things that really don't even matter. But it's still in her mind. So I would like to see, what would be your advice to someone in that situation that really wants it but suffers from the anxieties that kind of really don't matter, but they still paying attention to it. How do they overcome that?
Yeah, so I see that all the time, unfortunately. And honestly, if someone wants to change their body, the fastest and most effective way that they can is by changing what they eat. So I have clients of mine that have actually never stepped foot in a gym. They just solely follow a meal plan that I've written for them, and they've lost 25, 30. I even have a gentleman who lost over 50 pounds, and he only changed what he ate. Now he has the confidence to go to the gym and to take that next step. So nutrition is 80% of the game. Working out is really only 20%. So you can start there and start looking at what you're eating and making those decisions to eat clean and healthy, and you can completely alter what your body looks like and how you feel. If you're ready to take that next step and go to the gym, I would encourage you to go if you want to go. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like, and anyone who's at the gym should know already that, hey, this person's in here like working hard. It doesn't matter what you look like. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be lean and cut. If you're in there and you're working and you're sweating, good job. And anyone who thinks otherwise, they don't belong there anyways, because it's a place to better yourself. It's a place to get your mind and your body right and on track. And anyone who's doing that deserves all the praise in the world.
I agree. You hear that, Mom? Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay. Well, I like that answer. I like that answer. And I'm gonna rewind this for her so she can see that and see if it sparks some motivation in her. So that's cool. Okay. So now Golden Gloves. Tell me about that. Tell me about your boxing career and where you plan to take that.
So I started boxing, like I said, after I was injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did it for fitness for quite some time. I didn't fight. And then I started to fight a little bit here and there. I was a volunteer for a season at the United States Naval Academy for the midshipmen there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started fighting myself out on the East Coast. Again, I stopped doing it for bodybuilding, and then I started back up again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up really competing seriously, and I just was good, and I kept fighting and winning, and I just really loved it.
That's awesome.
And I stopped bodybuilding. I started fighting more seriously. I ended up becoming the Maryland state champ, and then I went to the regionals on the East Coast. And especially with females, the more fights that you get, the less people that there are to fight against. There's just not many females that are in that sport, and then not many in your weight class. So the pool is very, very small. I had an opportunity to come out here. It was more like a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I knew of Wildcard, and I knew of Freddie Roach, and I had watched his documentaries, and I'd always followed Manny Pacquiao. I just have the utmost respect for him. So I picked up the phone and I called Wildcard, and Freddie Roach answered the phone.
Wow.
Right.
It's that simple, man. I could call Interscope right now. Jimmy Iovine or Dr. Dre might pick up, and people don't think it's really that simple. But go ahead, continue.
Absolutely. He's so humble, and that's one of the biggest reasons that I'm out here today.
Mm-hmm.
So he answered the phone, and he was like, okay, you're an amateur boxer. Sure, yeah, come on out. He told me the prices. It was $5 a day. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. I booked a ticket and I came out here.
You better for $5 a day.
I did. So I met the Wildcard Boxing family, and instantly I was put with the amateur boxing coach, and he to this day is now my coach. And fast forward through the Olympic trials and all the blood, sweat, and tears and the work, and now I live out here, and that's my home gym.
Yeah. That's so cool, man. You took a leap of faith and made it happen. And it was that simple. Yo, it's that simple. Pick up the phone. The number's on Google. It's right there for you. Like, people don't really see that. It's really that simple. It's obtainable if you really want it. You just got to be resourceful and utilize your resources, which are right in front of you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know it, but...
Absolutely. I'm extremely proud to say that I'm a part of the Wildcard Boxing family.
Yeah.
That's huge. You know, I don't have aspirations to be a world champion or to be anything crazy. I don't even know if I'm going to turn pro at all. I really enjoy the amateur boxing, and my main goal was focusing on the Olympics and going to the Olympic trials. So right now I'm just extremely proud to say that I'm a member of that gym and that club, and it really is a family. And it all starts with Freddie Roach. He is the leader, and he sets a precedent, and then his coaches do the same thing all the way down to the boxers. And here I am, a part of this incredible journey.
That's what's up, man. That's cool. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you.
You seem happy.
Too.
Every time you talk about it, it's like you light up.
Yeah,
so, you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? So that's cool. I'm glad you're chasing your dreams and living in your purpose. So that's what it's really all about at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. Okay. Did you happen to catch do you watch UFC?
Sometimes.
Did you see the fight with it was this past weekend. It was two women. It was I forgot, one of her names is Joanna, and then the other woman, I forgot her name, but she was from China. You didn't see that fight? It was like the championship fight last weekend.
I didn't watch it. I did watch the highlights and the stories around it afterwards.
So you did see with her head being all big out there?
I did.
So that's what comes to my question. So in your journey through boxing and stuff like that, are you afraid of, getting some type of injury that may require some immediate medical attention that may potentially like paralyze you and stuff like that? Like, are you thoughtful and mindful of those things, or are you just going there like, fuck it, I'm taking heads off? Like, what's your mindset on that?
Right. I mean, with any contact sport or anything that we do that's dangerous, that's always a possibility. But I don't think many of us think about it. For example, I'm in the Marine Corps, and I am a helicopter door gunner. So I go up and fly in helicopters, and I hang out the side, and I shoot a machine gun.
Yeah.
Exactly. And every single time we get in... every single time we get in that aircraft and break skids, there's a chance you might not come home. And we know that, but it's not something that we think about. Same thing when we step into the ring. Every time you step into the ring, you know that that's a possibility as well, but it's not something that you think about. You're thinking about how to do your job, how to do your work, how to perform at your peak elite level.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that take?
Mm-hmm.
You know, where does that concentration go?
Gotcha. Okay, so you're aware of it, but it's more so like, okay, but I don't come in here planning to get hurt. It's more so you just gonna pound some faces in. Okay. Have you ever beat somebody up that bad though, or they needed medical attention?
I
Professionally.
I've never been in a fight outside the ring, knock on wood, and I don't plan on starting. Obviously, barring self-defense or something like that, but no, in the ring, I had fought a girl who was crying the whole time we were fighting, and that was really difficult for me to continue to fight her.
I'm sure you probably felt sorry for her.
I did. My heart broke. I felt bad, and I even went lighter on her, which looking back was a mistake. It's not my job. It's the referee's job to stop the fight.
Why do you think it was a mistake?
Because she could have been faking it. It's not, like I said, it's not my job to do that. There's referees and judges and officials for a reason, and that's their job. My job is to show up and be the best version of myself every single time I step into the ring.
Right. Okay. Did you win?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
The first words out of my mouth after round 3, I went to my corner. I was so angry. I was full of anger, and I looked at my coach, and he's taking my headgear off, and I said, I could have gone harder. And he said, I know, Lisa, I know. And then they raised her hand. Now that's a hard lesson to learn.
I know, man. It's like, damn, you felt sorry for it. So your emotion got the best of you.
They did. They did. She ended up going on. She had to go to the hospital. Her nose was broken. And so she wasn't faking, but it was a hard lesson for me to learn, because that exact fight was the reason that I was unable to continue in the Olympic qualifiers.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, you know, it sounds like, I know you regret that part, but you're still doing great things, and maybe it wasn't meant for you to go that route at that time, you know, and maybe you probably saved her life by taking it easy on her. You probably could have killed her.
I'll never know.
Right.
All I know is that I learned from it, and I have to take what I learned and on to the next and move forward.
Exactly. That's what's up. Yeah, no, that I'm sure that's a chip on your shoulder right there from that day. But you know, it is what it is. You know, can't argue over spilled milk. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. But okay, so now earlier, you know, I was off camera. We were talking about the ultimate goal for everything that you're doing. And you mentioned, you know, helping people overcome depression and stuff like that. So I wanted to highlight that and your mission behind that, because you know a lot of people do suffer from depression. I mean, you hear about people killing themselves over it like every single day, and all this mental illness stuff, you know. And I want to see what, you know, message are you trying to convey to your audience, and how you plan to help them get over their depressions.
Yeah, so I think it's very widespread, and lately people are now able to talk about it more. Whereas years ago, it was hush-hush, and you couldn't talk about it, you couldn't admit it, because it was perceived as a form of weakness. And that's really a large part of my goal, is to help people understand that your vulnerability doesn't have to be weakness. It can actually be your greatest strength. And when I was struggling, I was going through the exact same thoughts and emotions, and I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid to reach out and say, hey, something's wrong. I can't handle this on my own. I need help. I was afraid of what other people would think of me. But when I finally had the courage to talk about it, and I actually had a video done, and we released this video by an incredible company called Mission Barbecue back on the East Coast. When we finally released that, the people I was afraid of the most were the ones that were reaching out to me saying, thank you so much for speaking up. Thank you so much for saying something. Because there's so many high achievers very successful individuals, elite performers that struggle with this, and they're afraid to say anything because they think all of the people that they lead will then see them as weak. And it's not the case. It's not the truth. So I feel my mission is to lead, motivate, and inspire others to accomplish their goals, no matter what they are, via physical fitness and nutrition. And depression goes right along with that. If you are too focused on your clients, too focused on your company, too focused on the next sale or the business, and you are putting yourself in a backseat over and over and over, you're going to bring yourself down to a level that you don't need to be at. You could be up higher. You have to take care of yourself first and put yourself first before you can be the best version of yourself in order to help your clients, your customers, your coworkers, your platoon. Whichever direction that you want to go with that, you have to look in the mirror first and have the courage to become the best version of yourself.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I do. And you made a good point when you said you're trying to close this next deal, you're trying to do this, trying to do that, but you're putting yourself in the back seat. And it's like, as an entrepreneur, you think when you're closing deals and you're coming for the next one and this, that, and the third, you assume you're putting yourself first because you're the one actively closing these deals. But like you said, in hindsight, you're really doing yourself a disservice because you're not taking care of your body. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To be able to perform at the level that you need to be successful. So I see what you're saying, and that makes perfect sense. And it's like, putting awareness on that part is what I think is going to grasp people's attention, because it grabbed my attention. As an entrepreneur, I'm constantly running. I feel like, okay, I got to do 20 deals a day. I'm saying I got to go, and I'm always constantly like that. But it's doing my body a disservice, and I didn't really look at it like that until you brought it into my world just now. So thank you for that, and I think that's how you're gonna capture other people's attention as well. You know what I'm saying? Because people think, oh man, I'm fit. I could close 20 deals a day. I don't gotta go to the gym, or I ain't gotta eat right. Da 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 da. And then next thing you know, that in a hospital bed because they didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. They put themselves in the back seat.
Right.
So I feel you on that. Okay. That's what's up, Miss Lisa. I'm impressed so far. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So now, do you when you tell me about meal prepping? Meal prepping is what I have an issue with. Me being Dominican, I eat rice and beans was the side for everything. You know what I'm saying? Then we had the pork, the steak. I recently just became a vegetarian. I'm trying it out. It's cool. I actually feel better not eating meat. I'm less sluggish, and when I eat, even if I eat a bigger portion than what I normally do without meat, it's I still feel content, not like full where I'm like getting the itis and it's like I don't want to talk to you till tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't get like that. So how can one properly eat to maintain a healthy lifestyle and maintain their fitness goals?
So I actually just wrote a book, and
Congrats.
Thank you so much.
What's the name of it?
It's called Eat Your Fat Away.
Oh shit! I like that title. You came up with that yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's out right now.
It is out, absolutely.
Audiobook?
It's no, it's a download, so you can go on Amazon and download it to your Kindle or your iPad or your laptop or any phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's super inexpensive. It's like $9.99.
Okay.
And it's exactly what it is. It teaches you how to eat your fat away, because the majority of my clients, they come to me and they think, I've tried this diet and that diet, and I've tried paleo and keto and Atkins and all this other stuff, and they really don't know where to start, and they don't know what to do and what works for them. So in the book, I teach you that you don't have to starve yourself. It's not a healthy way to lose weight, and it's not a permanent way to lose weight. Most people who do things and they like that and they see success, that's a temporary process that they've gone through. It's a temporary goal. And then as soon as they go back to eating normal, not only are they going to put back on the weight that they lost, but they'll end up putting on more. So in the book, that's exactly what I talk about. I teach you how to meal prep, how to cook, what clean foods to eat. What does that mean? How often you should eat, the amounts. I gave you examples. I walk you through your macros and how to calculate that. And I've seen incredible success. Like we were talking in the beginning of the show, clients of mine that have lost upwards of 50 pounds solely by changing what they're eating. It's all in this book and that's the whole reason I wrote it.
Okay. So tell me, since the release, like, do you know? Are you aware of the analytics behind the book? Like, how many books you sold, or you didn't get that information yet?
No, I don't know. I just released the book about 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and the response was overwhelming, and I'm just very grateful for that, because the more people that you really take the time to read it and put it into action, the more people I can help.
Okay. What other marketing strategies do you have to kind of push the brand awareness for the book? Like, are you doing like any like fitness videos attached with the book or stuff like that? Are you doing an audible of the book as well? Like, are you doing anything like that? Or you just focused on the ebook?
So the ebook was, like I said, it was kind of just a means for me to be able to put what I teach into one source for people to come to, and to have a tangible item if they don't want to spend the money on getting a personal trainer or a coach or whatever the case. But it is one piece of the puzzle, and there's so many things that individuals need in order to accomplish their goal, and having a plan is definitely one of the big three, and that book provides you that, but it doesn't provide you personalization, and it doesn't provide you accountability. So if you can't come up with those things on your own, then that's just one of the pieces of the puzzle. Those big three things are huge when it comes to changing your fitness and your mindset, and no matter what goal you're trying to accomplish, whether it's a physical fitness goal or an entrepreneurial goal, you have to have a plan, you have to have it customized for you and your options and your goals, and then you have to have someone holding you accountable.
No, I agree. The reason why I ask is because I see a lot of other personal trainers and fitness experts, doing a lot of video content. So I didn't know if that was an avenue you were looking to, I guess, practice in, so you can build more brand awareness.
Yeah, so I do all of my videos and trainings on Instagram, and I have a ton of videos on how-tos and different workouts and tips and tricks and meal prepping on the go. There's a ton of information, so I usually put most of it out through Instagram, because that seems to be where many people can go to whenever they want to, whenever it's convenient. It's always up. It's an easy place that stores everything. And then I also run a 6-week fat loss accelerator course. So that's through my Instagram, where you can go to and find that. And now that's going to be a video led course that's leading you through the information that the book provides on your foods, plus how to tailor it to your body, plus holding you accountable every single week, putting you through workouts. It's incredible, and the results are just amazing. The before and after photos, they make me feel good. They make me feel validated. Because being an entrepreneur can be lonely. It could be it can be difficult and lonely, and there's some times where you question, man, do I even know what I'm doing? And then you get the
I did that last night.
Yeah, right? So you get it. But then there's those times you get the client's results, or you get one of your clients reaching out to you saying, thank you so much, you've changed my life. And it makes it all worth it, It's like, oh, okay, I do have confidence. I do know what I'm doing. But if anyone who is, just starting out being an entrepreneur, or anyone, even if you've been an entrepreneur for some time, it's a roller coaster. And you have to know to expect it so that you can know how to handle it.
Hey, big facts. I completely agree with you 100%. Okay. So tell me, Miss Bodenburg, since you're, highly, into the fitness thing, highly into the training and shooting guns out of helicopters, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, what do you do to unwind, man? What do you do to chill? What do you do to relax? I mean, do you have a significant other you spend time with? How do you balance that work-life stuff?
So for me, my life right now is just very goal-oriented and focused on my goals. No, I don't have a significant other. I'm waiting for the Lord to bring me my husband whenever he's ready. But for me, how do I unwind and how do I relax is anything to do with the water. So if I go surfing with a buddy, or back east, I have a boat and I go out on my boat. Anytime I'm blessed to be able to be out on the water or outdoors, that is a peace and a serenity and a grounding for me that I can't explain. Because I could be having the worst day of my life, but get out to the water and it's life-changing, and it's an instant calming and set of peace.
I hear you on that. Yeah, I like to be by the water. Sometimes I know I'm a city boy. I'm originally from the Bronx, like I told you. So I'm big city life, always fast paced. But I feel you on that relaxation time. You know, I recently picked up meditating and stuff like that. So I feel how the peace factor plays a big role in your positive mental attitude. You know what I'm saying? So I try to
Yeah.
practice that and stay by the water as well. You know, I like to go to Malibu and Santa Monica and just chill and just think.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. It's a sense of clarity that I feel like you really can't get from meditation or kundalini or yoga, and those are all great. And I practice a plethora of different things to help me stay grounded and to stay calm and centered on my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, there's nothing like being near the water.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, shit. I mean, I don't know about the surfing stuff. I mean, you could keep that, but the water's cool. You know, chilling with the feet in the sand with a pina colada or something.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah. Now that's what's up, man. Okay. Well, hey, listen. I have no more questions. This is a great interview. You provided a lot of information for those under, mental stress and things like that. Definitely look to her book that just came out, as well as her fitness videos. And if you ever want to contact her for any advice, where can the people reach out to you and send their inquiries?
Absolutely. My name's Lisa Bodenburg, and my last name is a little bit difficult to spell, so I made it easy. On Instagram, you can put in Lisa space Liberty, and then you'll see me pop up there. But you can also find me on Facebook under Lisa Bodenburg, or email me lisa.bodenburg@gmail.com. And as I always say to everyone, because there's so much out there, don't hesitate to contact me if there's anything I can do to help you.
There it is, man. Well, you just tuned into another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Lisa Bodenburg in the building. Thank you again for stopping by.
Thank you.
Don't be on no helicopter shooting things down, please. I can't, like, when you said it, I envisioned it, like, in the Army games I used to play. She's there, like, it's crazy. Like, how was that? Before we even get out of here, like, how was that experience? I mean, because some people I know that serve. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
They suffer from a lot of PTSD and stuff like that. Like, have you found yourself, dealing with those type of issues due to the activities you've done out there?
Yeah, that was a huge reason for my depression, and when I went through, I attempted suicide.
What?
Back before, when we were talking about that
Yeah,
deep
the
dark
depression.
time.
Yeah.
I was real close to pulling the trigger.
Like,
And
literally, like,
literally,
that was the way you
and the
were
Lord intervened. Yeah, there's no other way to describe it other than the Lord 100% intervened.
What he said to you?
No, it wasn't me. He sent a friend of mine was texting me, and I didn't tell her anything. But I had written the note. I had loaded my weapon. My house was in order. Everything was ready to go. I was walking up the stairs to go into my bedroom, and that's where I was gonna pull the trigger. And a girlfriend of mine just didn't like the way that we were texting, but I didn't tell her anything at all. She had a funny feeling. She texted a neighbor because she was out of town. That neighbor was out of town. He texted his roommate. His roommate came over to my house, and she has a key, and she just let herself in. She said she just knew. She came over. She was trying to be funny. I didn't answer the door, and it stopped me right in my tracks.
Wow.
And she came in, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I lost it. I just started crying, and I felt like every tear that I had never cried came out right at that time. And she didn't judge me. She didn't make fun of me. She didn't make me feel weak. She just let me cry and then helped me get the help that I needed. And so now I'm able to tell this story and to share it with someone else. And the more people we share it with, there's always seems to be just one person. If we could just help one more person, stop them in their tracks, because they deserve it. They deserve to survive.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. I can't believe, because whoo-wee. And I'm glad you came over that, man, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people still stuck in it. I mean, and just living with it, you know what I'm saying? Not even wanting to take themselves out and, that's it, but they're living with it. So it's like day by day they're suffering it more and more and more with no sense of hope. So,
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm glad you're with us still. You know what I'm
As
saying?
as am I. Only by the grace of God.
Facts. Well, stay tuned for more episodes to come. Make sure you get her new book. What's the name of the book, by the way?
Eat Your Fat Away.
Eat Your Fat Away. I need to, because whatever I'm eating, the fat ain't going away. It's just still stuck there. I don't know what the hell it's doing. It's just sitting there. Needs to go for vacation or something. But stay tuned for more episodes to come. Thank you for watching and have a blessed night.